and so forth. It needed to extend to 2 other teams, and damn it, it brought home championships. So I'm wearing this shirt again because this was the shirt I wore last night to basically will championships for our Vols baseball and my Florida Panthers in hockey. So anyway,
hey man, that's great.
Every time I wore this jersey, like after Father's Day, Tennessee won. So I made sure I wore it last night.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Chatbox, I need to see you hopping tonight, man. I hope we have a big participation from everybody. This is the Vols winning a College World Series. And I'll tell you this. Who would have thought that?
So
who would have thought it?
Literally, like right after we won last night, my mind went back to all the summers I spent on Tom Black track. Right over there.
Yep.
It took you back. It took you back to the days when you'd go watch it at Lindsey Nelson. You know what I'm saying?
Like to the first letter I got from UT.
I remember going to see Chris Burke. You know what I'm saying? Back when I was in middle school to high school. You know what I'm saying? Chris Burke was like the guy like right after the Todd Helton years, you know what I'm saying? Like he was that next guy. And now you just see the dudes like Dylan Dryland was phenomenal.
He was.
The man had like 11 RBIs. He went 13 for 24. He batted like 500.
Yeah, I think it was 7 for 13 in this series, 13 of 24 overall. Like ridiculous. No wonder he was MVP.
Well, and wasn't his home run the one that sparked the Sunday victory? If I'm not mistaken,
I mean, it
was dead in the water till he did that.
Yeah, and then you had Cal Stark, who got his first hit of the College World Series being a home run. Then
after going
yeah, dude, he was dead in the water. But I will say this: the defensive play of Kavaris Tears, the defensive play of Hunter Inslee. Like Hunter Inslee's eye black is still in Omaha right now. It's still in Omaha. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna lie, guys. The pitching staff: Xander Zekris, Drew Beam, Combsy, Kirby Cannell, Nate Snead, Marcus Phillips, Benecke. Or Beneke.
Who is the lumberjack? Who's the lumberjack again that they bring in? Is that Condon? Who is that at the end?
No, you're talking about Kirby.
Yes.
Kirby
okay,
Cannell.
I have a question for you guys. The stuff he was throwing, you know what I really wanted to say, but that stuff that he was throwing in that 8th inning, why did we not leave him in the 9th inning, man? That was just too much. I was like, what is going on?
Who's that late middle relief?
Okay.
He gets you out of that jam. He's pitched every game. The whole year.
He pitched every game.
But
he every game.
You bring him in just to kind of get relief, then bring in the closer. Then Combs after the balk and the smile he had on his face, like, oh, my bad. I got it. Like he's like, oh, I screwed up.
That was undeniable, man. Like, that was so great. Another guy that we gotta mention. How great was Dean Curley as a freshman? The dude's in the shortstop position. I don't know if he continues to play shortstop, but that dude is going to be a future big time star. When I tell you, like the way he played short was phenomenal.
I heard the next group of dudes coming in are same level as freaking now I'm drawing blanks on names. Dang it. Simo, Beam.
Simo, Burke.
Yeah. Like they're the same, they're the same caliber, but more. So like we're reloading already.
And here's the funny thing. We didn't even get one of those great Billy Amick games in the We did not. We didn't get a great Billy Amick game. We got a guy that hit for a cycle. We get a guy with 11 RBIs. We got a guy that hit 3 home runs in all 3 games. Then you have a group of guys. Was it 20 or more home runs?
5 guys. 20 plus
5 guys. Yeah, they set some type of record. Yeah.
Never happened before.
Yeah, that's insane.
I'm going to tell you this. This team in in college baseball reminds me of that LSU 2019 Tiger squad in college football, where they were
Yeah.
just an offensive juggernaut in their respective
Yeah.
sport, putting up 6 stats that you'll never see, and if you do see them again, good luck finding 5 guys that can hit 20 plus home runs. I mean, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Um, a couple of observations. I'm so glad you brought up Billy Amick, because truth be told, until he hit that really good single, could have been maybe a double if it had fallen where it needed to fall. But still, he was very quiet, and it was very shocking. But thank God that other people stepped up. And that just shows the depth of this team, of how well they were. And that's what you need to win. It's a hard sport to win a championship. It really is. I mean, the fact that you had to win a regional, then you win a super regional. I don't care who you're matched up with. That's still pressure.
That super
And then
regional was pressure.
it
That
was
super
pressure,
regional
and
was
that wasn't a
pressure.
bad team. That was not an ordinary
No.
little Cinderella. That was a
Hey,
good team.
That
So,
Evansville team, that Evansville team was a lot better than people need give credit for. They gave us everything we wanted. They beat a very good East Carolina team, and that East Carolina team, if they would have came in Knoxville, I still think we would have beat them, just because I felt like we were a team of destiny, and I felt like our pitching would have got through any type of situation. Like you saw the pitching. And you saw the level of the pitching when it come to crunch time. Like Nate Snead coming up. Combsy might be slick the MVP because of how he handled the Sunday game, coming in, giving our bat some help. Because if Cal Stark doesn't hit that home run when he was over, I don't know where they would have been without that. Like, the pitching of Combsy was great, and also the way we would go from Stamos to Causey. I like the way we always went. We stayed with the same formula every game.
Yeah, we went the exact same starting lineup from Sunday to yesterday. Nothing changed.
Yeah. Nothing changed. No, nothing changed. A guy that I wish would have got hot because he was coming back to Omaha was Dalton Bargo. I really wish he would have got hot, just because of the story of Cal Stark being from Farragut, from Knoxville, being on the first national title team. He will forever get a sandwich or a free meal or a beer in this city.
And there's been some great players that have come to that school or come to Tennessee from Farragut, and Farragut's the baseball juggernaut and everything like that. It's funny that you mentioned something, and Shane, I know that you'll back me up and so forth as you in the games. Two-pair, I think you said it best. I think this team was a team of destiny, but I think what did it was that Florida State game, the first one. Everything that could have gone bad that Friday night went bad. And think about, not so much. Everybody talks about, well, what Florida State didn't do. Yes, they left base runners on base and maybe could have had more runs, but Tennessee left a lot out there too. That's why you play the game. But when they had to make the plays, they did it, and it was just like they didn't look back. Now they had the hiccup Saturday night against A&M, but I just kept waiting. Even what was the final, Shane? 11-7. A&M won the first game on Saturday night. Was it 11-7?
9-5.
No, oh, sorry, 9-5. I knew it was a 4-run deficit, but anyway. But here's the thing: like, I still felt that Tennessee was okay. And then, when that game started Sunday, I really wasn't liking how it was going until
I didn't either.
Dreiling nailed that 2-run homer. And then it was like, okay, we're all right now. We're okay. Now add a couple more runs. Stark did it with the 2-run homer. But the pitching on Sunday was lights out for Tennessee. Only allow them to 1 run, and it was a home run that you allowed in the first or second inning. I mean, realistically, you basically earned that. And here, let me just give you some stats real quick that I have here. The fact And I want to give a shout out to the kid from Pigeon Forge. I think the stage was too bright. I admire Vitello for bringing him in, but at least, that didn't go by the wayside. But there's a reason why I'm bringing that up.
Dylan Loy.
Yeah, Dylan Lloyd. Yes, from
Dylan
Pigeon
Lloyd.
Forge.
I
Yeah.
like
So,
Lloyd. Lloyd.
yeah,
Lloyd's
and he's
cool.
going to have his day, but I think the stage was too big for a freshman. He threw a couple wild pitches, allowed some runs to score. It just made me uneasy.
But he still wasn't as bad as Florida State's pitcher that came in.
No.
Friday?
Yeah, or no.
Yeah.
We beat Florida State. I can't
The
remember
second
that
time? The second time, you mean?
Yeah, game 3 of the Florida State one. Or game 2.
Oh yeah. Because we had to
that dude was not like he was done within the first inning.
Yeah.
When we went up 3-0.
Florida State. To be honest, I didn't think we would have saw Florida State twice. I thought we would have saw North Carolina twice.
Yeah, and I thought
North Carolina had the. He's not the best player in Omaha, but damn it, he's top 5. I love Honeycutt. Vance Honeycutt is a player. Like, man, he's really one of those dudes. And then from Florida State's lineup, their middle lineup with Tibbs. Like Tibbs was a problem. Tibbs was a problem out there, man. They got some players too.
One thing I do want to say about North Carolina and the baseball, which was really shocking to me, they had the highest seed of all the ACC teams. But I think they were ACC regular season champs, I guess because of record or something.
Record they were.
But not even them nor Florida State or Virginia, for that matter, were your tournament champs. That was Duke. And I know that they do things a little bit different. They do like 4 groups and all that, and the best teams go in a semifinal and all that. I get that. But the fact is you're right, Two-Pair. I really thought that Carolina would beat Florida State, and it would be us having to play North Carolina again, but it worked out the way that it did. And the other thing that I want to bring up is that, and this was the stat that I wanted to the reason why I brought up Dylan Loy and the runs being allowed. The fact that you're the first number 1 overall seed, okay, in 25 years, since the 99 Miami Hurricanes that did it the
99 Miami Hurricane team was a bad.
They were bad. They were a bad team.
That team right there, that 99 team went through the whole College World Series.
They did.
It was quick. I think I was in 8th grade. I was in 8th grade when that happened.
Yeah. And the thing is that the fact that there were curses and everybody was saying that, but I thought Tennessee was going to do it because there's something, like I told you guys, about that 25 number for whatever reason. It's been very significant in this year. But what's even scarier is, does anybody realize that Miami won that 99 game against Florida State, their rival, and the final score was 6-5. And last night, Tennessee won 6-5.
6-5.
I mean, and when we were allowing those, I was like, it was too close for comfort, but I knew he was striking him out at the end. I knew that last pitch was going to be
You saw the look on his face after the balk because he didn't realize the runner took second already.
Yeah.
The first, and as he whipped back around, it's like, yeah, I got this. We're good.
Yeah.
It's like when Christian fouled that one off for 2 strikes to finish off against I can't remember. Might have been during Florida State, like the first one. It's like,
Florida State comeback?
Yep. It's like, we good. I got this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
like there is something about this team that was special in every single way.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, I think the 22 team was more talented. The one where we lost to Notre Dame?
The 22 team was one of the best teams. I don't know what happened. Like, I think
we did a business approach to it. Like, they went out there thinking they were going to beat everyone that year, and they were good enough to do it. But this team took it one game at a time and knew their job every time.
But here's what some What about the irony that Texas fires their head coach the day of the national title game?
Yeah,
right.
Singer is now Texas A&M's coach is now Texas's coach. You're staying in the same.
Dude,
that's some dirty stuff, man. That is some dirty stuff.
James, check this, Stallion. Check this out. When asked last night, he got rather rude about it.
Oh, he
got
rather
rude about it, right?
It had Roy Williams vibes. I don't give a shit about Carolina. Carolina job 2 weeks after Kansas loses to Carmelo Anthony in Syracuse. Keep going.
I'm saying, was it not freaking eerie though? Was it not eerie that the way that happened? And I kept saying to myself, if Tennessee beats Texas A&M, that coach leaves tomorrow for Texas.
Wow.
I didn't think he was going. I didn't. When you say it in existence, you don't think it would happen. But I said to myself, if we win this game and they ask him that question, and I bet you on ESPN, I will see that Texas A&M's coach leaves for Texas.
It's crazy.
But by this morning, I was already seeing reports on it.
I did too.
Yeah, and he got hot. I mean, he got flat out fired up and rude. Yeah.
Was he not rude about it?
He was. He was. I mean, and listen, I know you've just lost the national title game, but they have a job to do. There's a way that you could have handled that. And you didn't. You already knew what you were doing, dude. The money was there. You knew. I mean, and here's the thing, man. I'm going to tell you this. They have not played in years in football. I can't wait to see some Texas A&M shit again, honestly, because that used to be a after Thanksgiving Day special, like Nebraska and Colorado. That was your lineup. They did that remember, and all that, the bonfire.
It was Nebraska, Colorado. It was Texas
A&M, Bedlam.
It was Oklahoma State.
Always that Friday. Yep.
And then the Saturday, you'd have Florida State, Florida.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
9 times out of 10. And then you would have
Vanderbilt and Tennessee would be playing.
You know what we forget though? The Thanksgiving night game was the Egg Bowl.
It still is, yeah. Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
You're
right. So that was your lineup. That was your lineup. And the thing is, they haven't played for a while, but now Texas is in the SEC. I'm going to tell you this: that A&M Texas rivalry in all the sports, that's what college sports is all about.
With them coming to the SEC now, is everybody going to do the horns down now because they cried in their last conference? Like, it's not fair. It's too mean. We don't like the horns down. Welcome to the SEC.
Oh, welcome to the SEC is right. So I want to give a shout out to Larry Frank Jr. from Utah. Thank you, buddy. Always supporting the show. And he definitely bringing it right off the bat. Tennessee winning the Natty. The SEC has won the last 5 titles. Vols, LSU, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Vanderbilt. I mean, that's just nuts. That is nuts. And now you've added Oklahoma and Texas, and it's just going to be very interesting to see how this goes. This conference is going to be a bloodbath in any sport, men's or women's, going forward in any sport. So yeah.
Oh, just like Oklahoma's softball team.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's gonna be a good matchup.
I don't think there's been a more clutch hitter than Dylan Dryland was. Like the bombs that this dude hit were just back-breaking shots. Like the most memorable hit will still be the Florida State game.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the most memorable. But the check swing of the century by one Blake Burke is why we win in Omaha. If we go back to that signature moment,
that changed the whole outcome.
It did.
It did. Think about it. That's a call Tennessee never gets.
Nope. So the other thing that
it's a call Tennessee never gets. We would never get that. We would never get that call.
Does this mean the curse is lifted now since Peyton was there and we won something?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was there. Morgan Wallen was there. I mean, you know what I thought was so awesome? The fact that Josh Heupel and Rick Barnes were there. I mean, when have you
Both.
ever seen that? You know, like, I mean, I don't even remember like Fulmer being tight with Jerry Green or Buzz
Paul was there last
Peterson
night
or
too.
nothing like that, you know,
Yeah.
like, or Pat Summitt or Kevin
It,
O'Neill. I don't remember that stuff.
you
So,
don't
yeah.
remember? Yeah, like we never. The only thing we've ever had anything close to that was with Bruce and Pat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had a special relationship. They
You know what
did,
I'm saying?
yes. Yeah.
Bruce and Pat was the only thing we've ever seen like that. And just seeing Rick Barnes, who got to an Elite Eight, who's a phenomenal coach, who's a great coach, who's a legend. You know what's crazy is Rick Barnes has won over 800 games and never won a national title.
I know.
Like the dude might get up.
Look at the
He
talent he's
might
in the league.
he might get up to 850 wins. And my overall. I might need to lift the curse of me not announcing anymore for UT so they'll win a national title in basketball. But if they bring me back. But when you look at it, I really think that I kind of felt like Tennessee's baseball team was knocking on the door for so long that it had to beat it down. Where football, I don't know. I don't know in football. I really don't. Like, as much as I love Nico and seeing what we've developed in talent, it's hard to compete with the Georgias and Alabama. Like, it's very tough. This SEC's gotten rougher. You just brought Texas and Oklahoma into the fray, and you got Missouri that's laying around in the weeds. It's getting better. You got an LSU team whose defense needs to get good because they had all the talent on offense. They just couldn't stop a nosebleed.
Well, and Lane Kiffin's killing the transfer portal, getting
And
people to Ole Miss.
yeah.
I mean, they're there too. I mean,
Yeah, they're right there.
that's why they had to do this 12-team playoff, because there's a good chance 4 of your 12 teams are going to be from the SEC champion,
Absolutely.
and 3 at-large bids. You
Yeah.
get 3 from the Big Ten, and then 1 from the ACC, Big 12, and then whoever the lesser 6, the group of 6 champ is, or whatever like that.
Because you'll get a Notre Dame in there somehow.
Notre Dame will somehow find their way in there. Absolutely.
You know,
So,
they'll find a way.
Yeah.
Notre Dame needs to join a conference.
They do. They should either join the ACC or Big Ten at this point. So
yeah, at this point they're a Big Ten school. Like, they're either a Big Ten school or an ACC school. You do it in basketball. Football, you're going to have to give up some of those privileges that you so-called have. But they have everything geared with NBC and that lifetime contract that they signed.
Well, and the stupid is that's really only the home games, because the away games aren't on NBC. The away games are with who they play, and majority of their games are on ABC at this point. You know, or ESPN.
They're from ACC schools.
Yeah, or they play the occasional Big Ten team. You know, and I guess that's going to be on SEC now. So
they're either on ESPN, NBC, or Peacock.
Oh, that's right, the Peacock crap. That's right.
They got the Peacock crap, but I think what Peacock experienced with Big Ten this year, Big Ten is going to CBS. I really don't. I love the SEC being on CBS. Like, it just was a better covered. Like with ESPN, I like the ESPN night game of an ESPN game.
Oh, absolutely.
If it's around that 3:00 game, I want to see it on CBS.
Yeah, and now it's going to be the ABC thing. You know, it's going to be ABC. Is that going to be that 3:30 game?
Yeah, it's going to be ABC, ESPN type deals. You know what I'm saying?
I want to go back to Larry's comment real quick that with, Texas and OU joining, schools like the Cal State Fullertons and Wichita State, they can kiss their baseball hopes goodbye. I really think that realistically, now with the Pac-12 officially gone, you might see a UCLA or someone like that from the Big Ten. Maybe
ain't no more Cal State Fullerton, no more Mark Kotsay's, baby.
None of that stuff. Yeah.
No UC Davis, no UC Irvine, no Santa Barbara. Stanford, I'm sorry, Santa Cruz, whatever, Wichita State, None of that. It don't matter.
Well, and I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. Stanford's joining the ACC, and they're not even probably the 10th best team. You know what I mean? Like if you think about the ACC bloodbath, and I really think that this Omaha tournament experience of these 8 teams is going to basically be who's better the year, SEC or ACC. That's really what it's going to come down to these next cycles. I really believe that. So yeah,
I'm gonna say this. There was a guy that did not play in the College World Series. Their team lost to NC State. How about Charlie Condon?
oh yeah,
Charlie Condon getting the Golden Spikes
Golden
Award.
Spikes. Yep.
Like
Yes, sir.
Charlie Condon. I'm gonna say this. Charlie Condon, you were a phenomenal player. But when I look back to the SEC, hey Statman, who was the Triple Crown winner in the SEC?
Ooh. All right, give me a second.
While he's looking that up, I want to give a shout to Kerry. First
man,
SEC team to win 60 games, regular season and conference title, and the national championship. That's the trifecta. 833 winning percentage is 3rd all time. I'd love to know who the first 2 were, Kerry.
I do.
Yeah, so, yep, the Pac-12 is already gone, and other conferences will follow. Love Larry Frank right here. ESPN getting the SEC is the equivalent of consummating a marriage to your virgin wife on your honeymoon. Absolutely. I mean, It really is that.
It is. So, but Shane, since you're looking it up, I'll let you know who it was. It was Christian Moore.
Yep.
Christian Moore did not get any type of awards. He didn't get the Golden Spikes Award. I love Charlie Condon. I think you're a phenomenal player. But if you tell me that Charlie Condon had a more phenomenal year than the guy that led the SEC as a Triple Crown winner, I'm just saying, like, that team is full of
I saw the tweet he put out. It was early this morning. You all can have all the personal awards. I'm a national champion.
That's right.
Yeah, I retweeted him. I retweeted him on that. Yeah, I thought that was great to have. Like, I was like, dude, you balled out. You are the second man to hit for the cycle in the College World Series.
1956 was the last time that happened.
It's crazy.
The fact that he was shocked that he did it.
Yeah, like he had no clue he did it until they said it during the press conference.
It's just nuts. It's just
nuts. I mean, what a great championship night. You had the Stanley Cup Game 7.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that in a minute because I was ecstatic. I mean, I was on the edge of my couch watching both games. I mean, honestly. So
this College World Series talk, like, the College World Series and the Stanley Cup are going to dominate the conversation.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we got some big news that we've got to talk about too. We got some big news, and we got other topics we want to talk about too. One more thing before we change from the Vols baseball. We haven't even mentioned his name yet, which is really, really surprising.
Who's that?
But we got to give a shout out to Tony Vitello, the coach. We've not mentioned him.
We didn't mention
Does he get a street named after him? Like, do they name that street behind the stadium after him at this point now with a championship?
Build a statue now.
Yeah.
Give him a lifetime contract. Give him whatever he needs.
Yeah.
I saw a video today.
Here's what's going to happen.
It looked like in 2018 when he coached his first game. Carnage hallway throughout the first pitch, and you could have sat anywhere in that stadium.
Now it's the hardest ticket in town.
Now it's the hardest ticket in town.
It's like Neyland Stadium in the 90s. That was a hard ticket at Neyland Stadium.
Man,
you could maybe get one to the throwaway BS games on the ESPN pay-per-view stuff.
You could get a ticket to Houston. You could get a ticket. You could get UT UNLV.
Or MTSU.
I could have walked down the strip and got a ticket for $20.
Yep.
You could not get a ticket to Tennessee, Alabama. You couldn't get a ticket to Tennessee, Georgia. Florida. You couldn't get Tennessee, Florida. You had to hope and pray to get a ticket to the MTSUs, the ETSUs. Hell, if they did play them, Chattanooga, the Austin Peay games.
Yeah,
those games. Yeah, you would be thankful and and you would enjoy being around probably 103,000 at the time before it got to the 108,000 it is now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, and like I said, the guy has brought a culture, a team. They were brothers. You know, you mentioned the 22 team probably being more talented, but this team liked each other. They really
Yeah.
came together. They were brothers. They had each other's backs. They really took
They
it like a
fought.
business approach. They fought.
They
And
fought.
60 damn games, guys. That is
Whoa.
a lot. I mean, some teams don't even play 60 in a season, and they won 60. Let's
But you
talk
know,
about
but-
that.
It's the most
you know-
wins by a team since they capped it in '92 for the amount of games you could play.
Wow.
But you know, it used to be. You remember, like they played way more games back in the day. Like
Yeah, like before '92, it was capped. I think the most games won by a team was Wichita State, was like 68 and something in 1989.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, let me just say this. I do want to get to, we have so many topics to cover tonight. I mean, we've got the damn NBA draft tomorrow night and Thursday night. Friday night.
I like what I've been hearing in this NBA draft. Man.
Oh yeah. Well, I want you to talk about that when we get there.
I like
We've
what
got
I've been hearing.
the Lakers have a coach, so we can talk about that too. You know, that
JJ,
yeah.
JJ's a coach.
We'll get to that in a second. But